Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Brian, and in today's video, dude, this Pokemon is absolutely busted. I'm just gonna say that right now, okay? I just finished streaming, showcasing this Pokemon Blastoise. We played some games in Masters, and oh my god, I can tell you guys right now, I have no doubt in my mind that I'm pretty confident Blastoise is easily gonna be the new top-tier tank, overtaking Snorlax, hands down. I have no doubt in my mind. The amount of damage and like zoning that this Pokemon can do is just insane. But anyways, I'm jumping ahead of myself. We're gonna go ahead and kind of chunk this video into multiple sections. I'm gonna go over Blastoise moveset first for anybody who's not familiar with what he does, in case maybe you're considering whether or not you actually want to get him or not. Then I'm gonna give you guys some tips and tricks that you might want to consider when you do play Blastoise, based on what I've discovered so far about him. And then at the very end of the video, I'll go ahead and post a really good Blastoise game that I managed to do from my stream that I just had. Right now, everyone's kind of sniping Blastoise at the moment because he's literally the newest Pokemon. So it's kind of hard to get him sometimes, but I managed to snag a really good game with him. Stay till the end to check that out. And I'll be leaving timestamps down below in the description in case you just want to jump to certain segments. Without further ado, let's go ahead and move into his moveset. All right, anyways, we'll start off with basic attack. Becomes a boosted attack with every third attack, dealing continual damage and applies a slow effect to the opposing Pokemon. All right, kind of figures. Passive Torrent. When the Pokemon is half HP or less, its attack and special attack are increased. All right, pretty typical for a starter Pokemon. All right, Unite move. All right, it's an hindrance type. Has the user spout water to attack while spinning, throwing opposing Pokemon in a large area. This also grants the user a shield. So basically, he retreats into a shell. He spins around while shooting water in a giant circle and throws everybody upwards. And it has a pretty big AoE. I'll showcase it in the practice arena in just a sec for you guys. But it's pretty massive. And if you combine it with Buddy Berry, the dude gets like insane amounts of like extra health, effective extra health. It's ridiculous. Anyways, Water Gun as a starter move. Attacks with a shot of water, shoving opposing Pokemon and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. So it does damage and applies a slow. I'll showcase it in the practice area, but Water Gun actually does a crazy amount of damage. Like, it's actually stupid how much damage Water Gun does for Blastoise. The other starter attack is Skull Bash. Fiercely rams an opposing Pokemon and leaves it unable to enact. So it does a slight stun when it hits them, but it's also a really nice dash. Like, it actually goes a pretty decent distance. It's not uncommon that in the game that you'll see at the end of this video where I quite literally, it's almost like using eject button on cooldown. It's kind of crazy and does decent damage too. All right, Water Gun's upgraded moves. We have Hydro Pump and Water Spout. All right, we'll read Hydro Pump first. 8.5 second cooldown, and it's ranged. The user attacks by blasting out a huge volume of water, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and shoving them when it hits. The upgraded version increases damage. All right, so basically, it does damage and it shoves them. Water Spout, 9 second cooldown, and it's an AoE. Spouts water towards the designated location, decreasing the movement speed. It slows them for a short time. Upgraded version deals extra damage. All right, so basically it's an AoE. Think of it, it's basically kind of like Sludge Bomb, basically, where it stays in a certain area after you use it, and it can just continuously rains down water for damage. One thing you should know, though, is that this move does a ton of damage. Like, it actually does a lot of damage. Crazy. It's out of the two, Water Spout is my preferred move right now. Anyways, the upgraded moves for Skull Bash is Surf and Rapid Spin. We'll cover Rapid Spin in the practice area because there's actually some tips regarding Rapid Spin that they don't tell you in the description. It's actually really worth noting. Anyways, Surf has the user charge forward on a wave, shoving opposing Pokemon and leaving them unable to act. User becomes immune to hindrances while using the move and can jump in a designated direction once this move ends. The upgraded version also gives him a shield whenever he hits a Pokemon. This is actually a really good move. Actually, both Surf and Rapid Spin are actually really good. It's just depending on what type of playstyle you would like to prefer going towards when you unlock them. That determines like your playstyle for any given game. But from my testing, testing and gameplay so far, I can confirm they're both really good. I kind of favor Surf just a little bit more, just because it's a little safer and it's just a little bit better, especially in team fights and defending goalposts. But Rapid Spin is also really good, and we'll read Rapid Spin real quick. It's an 11-second cooldown. It's a buff type. As the user spin rapidly, changing the mechanics of its basic attacks, as well as its Hydro Pump and Water Spout moves. The upgraded version also reduces the damage Blastoise receives while using this move. Okay, so again, we'll go ahead and cover this in the practice area because it doesn't really tell you specifically what changes about the Water Spout and the Hydro Pump, and it's kind of important. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the practice area so I can show you guys. All right, so Blastoise. So as of right now, okay, I just like X speed. So we're doing some testing. And from what I can tell so far, Buddy Barrier and Muscle Band are an absolute must-have, in my opinion, for Blastoise. Because he's a ranged Pokemon. He already does decent damage with his basic attacks. The Muscle Band just makes him do insane damage with his basic attacks, on top of his moves. And depending if you do Rapid Spin or Surf, like we did some testing, and I could show you guys shortly here too in the practice area. But Blastoise does just nutty damage. It's stupid. Buddy Barrier, like I mentioned before too, his ultimate does give him a shield when he does it because he kind of stays in place for a second when he uses it. And so using Buddy Barrier him just gives him a stupid... You can practically like double his HP basically with Buddy Barrier. It's crazy. Now the third item I think can vary. I think Score Shield is a very, very hard candidate. Another one would also be... Where is it? Focus Band. Focus Band is also a good candidate. And I'm still kind of testing it, but I think... Where is it? I think... Where is it? There. Oh, I heard of a clip. I think Energy Amplifier is also a pretty decent candidate too. Now, I will note that I think that if you're going to use Energy Amplifier, you should specifically go with a Rapid Spin build. Just because Rapid Spin is going to be your de facto like damage dealing ability. That's like Rapid Spin is what helps sets up combos. So if you're going to use Energy Amplifier, I think Rapid Spin is going to be the move you want to use. If you're not using Energy Amplifier, you can kind of fluctuate between the two. Maybe favor Surf instead. All right, so at level 1, okay, like I mentioned before, Water Gun actually does... So let me show you the basics of that. This was Muscle Band, okay? That's actually pretty decent damage for basic attacks, okay? Now let me show you Water Gun. That does a lot of damage for it. It's way better than Slowbro's a Water Gun too. I don't have to hold it down like he does to get the max damage. I can just press it. Not only does it a slight shove, but it actually does good damage. It's crazy. Skull Bash. Let me show you Skull Bash. Okay. So it actually does like a pretty decent dash. Let me change the settings real quick. Let me turn off the cooldowns. All right. It does an okay amount of damage too. I mainly, from my experience playing a few games with them, I tend to use Skull Bash mainly as like a getaway tool, but sometimes I will use it as an initiation because it's all together. If I use my both abilities and my basic attacks, I actually do a pretty decent damage early game. It's actually surprisingly like good. I'm gonna level up a couple times. All right, we'll do Water Spout. Just because I think Water Spout is the best one amongst the two. Here it is. So there's the comb, there's the bumblebees. We'll use Water Spout on top of it, and you can see how it just rains down on top of them. I'm level 5, and my Water Spout took like most of those guys to half without any other moves. That's pretty good. Yeah. And they obviously would have died quicker if I had been attacking them too. So this is their radius of Surf. It's actually pretty massive. One thing worth noting is that at the end of the Surf duration, you will be able to jump in a certain direction that you want. So for example, okay, I can jump forward here. If I do it again, I can jump backwards. I can jump backwards. The surf keeps going a bit further away too. So there's a few times, and you'll notice it in the game that I have, where we happen to lose Dreadnought, and the entire enemy team ends up on top of our goalpost trying to score. And all I had to do was go like this and jump backwards, and I literally just pushed the entire team away. It's crazy, legitimately crazy. Okay, so this is what the ultimate looks like. There it is. You see how high it throws them up? It's actually crazy. It does a decent amount of damage too. All right, so this time we have Hydro Pump and Rapid Spin. Okay, so this is what Hydro Pump looks like. All right, it's all right. My biggest thing is that it doesn't push them away as much as I would like them to, or as far as I'd like them to, I should say. Although it does good damage. It does pretty decent damage. I'm level 15 and I'm doing practically 1600 damage. This is what Rapid Spin looks like. And you can use your Hydro Pump or Water Spell while in this to do damage. It's worth noting that while using Rapid Spin, if you're on top of somebody, the Rapid Spin itself will deal damage. Okay. Also worth noting too is that while using Rapid Spin, you can use basic attacks. So if you're on top of somebody and using basic attacks, you'll do like good amount of damage. Now, one thing that it doesn't tell you is that Rapid Spin actually resets the cooldown of your other ability. So if I go ahead and, for example, if I turn back on the move cooldowns, I use Hydro Pump for a second. When I use Rapid Spin right here, it's going to reset Hydro Pump. Resets Hydro Pump, and now I can use it again. So usually the best option is to try and use your first ability first, then go into Rapid Spin so you can use it again. So like this. Do it again. It's worth noting too. It's worth noting that you can still spam your basic attacks while using your first ability while in Rapid Spin as well. So while I'm using Hydro Pump in Rapid Spin, I'm also doing basic attacks at the exact same time. And the same thing applies for Water Spout too. So it's pretty cool. It just does so much damage in this form. It's crazy. All right, so when using Rapid Spin plus Water Spout, there's something slightly different that you guys have to know that does not apply to Hydro Pump. And you remember when it said Rapid Spin changes the way that Water Spout and Hydro Pump work? Well, turns out that they work differently from each other. It's not like they're just both they work the same period. They straight up, like, Water Spout is different from Hydro Pump. So what do I mean by that? Well, basically, when using Hydro Pump while in Rapid Spin, you're only able to press it once, and it'll do the Hydro Pump, and that's it. And then you kind of have to wait for it to come back off cooldown while in the Rapid Spin. However, Water Spout, on the other hand, is completely different, where just like you can do the combo where you use Water Spout first, Rapid Spin, and it'll reset the cooldown. All right, if you use Rapid Spin and then Water Spout, okay, if you just press it, it does like nothing. It does like a couple spurts and that's it. So what you're actually supposed to do, let me get him off cooldown, there we go, is when using Rapid Spin, you got to hold down the button for Water Spout to have it keep going. So like this. Hold it down and it'll keep going. And that is how Water Spout's supposed to be used in Rapid Spin. When you combine it all together, you actually get a stupid amount of damage. It's kind of crazy. So watch, for example. And that's with me using basic attacks while using Water Spout. So I got about 12k damage just from using Water Spout, Rapid Spin into Water Spout with basic attacks. It's stupid amounts of damage. I didn't even ult. I did more damage just from those abilities without my ult. It's crazy. And it's worth noting too that when your Rapid Spin is upgraded, you also take reduced damage while in the Rapid Spin, which is also kind of nuts. I haven't even covered Blastoise Stats either, for that matter. So just to kind of make it a little bit clear about the basic attack while using Water Spout, this is what it looks like normally without the basic attacks. That's what it looks like normally without the basic attacks. If I throw in the basic attacks on top of that, okay, this is what it looks like. Oops. There we go. You see me like throwing in those extra moves in with the water spout? You can do basic attacks while using the water spout and the hydro pump too. Just remember that you got to hold down the water spout while using rapid spin and be mashing the basic attack button. That's it. All right. So this is Blastoise stats. Now, ignoring the HP because I do have Buddy Bear equipped, which boosts my max HP. At base, without any items, Blastoise has 9,800 max HP, making him one of the highest amounts of HP in the game. Figures he's a tank. That's kind of expected. However, one thing that you probably don't know is that his special defense is at 420. Meaning that he has the second highest special defense in the entire game, with Wigglytuff still being the highest at like 480 or something like that. Snorlax and Crustle have special defenses of 400. Blastoise has it at 420, so already higher. His defense is at 599. He is literally the highest physical defense in the entire game. On top of the fact that he also has one of the highest HP in the game. So actually he comes in third place, in fourth place actually, in terms of HP. Pretty much the best stats in terms of tankiness, straight up. On top of having really good damage too, like it's just crazy. Anyways, without further ado, we'll go ahead and go into my gameplay clip for you guys to go ahead and watch and kind of gain some ideas on how to play him. And just see how effective Blastoise can be, because it was actually nutty. So go ahead and check it out. I'm just not used to it because I don't really play the starters.
Ready, go!
Or am I going bottom? That does damage. Dude. Oh, my basics do damage. It's crazy. The fact to have a dash is nuts too. Imagine if Greninja Centers got their hidden abilities instead. Dude, that'd be broken. Alright, I got Water Spout. Let me see how good this is. It's really good at clearing out the wild Pokemon, that's for sure. Dude, the Water Spout just negates his rest. It's dumb. Yo, Water Spout's actually pretty good. Yeah, Water Spout's actually pretty good. It's safe and it actually does pretty good damage. Yeah, Blastoise is actually pretty good. The Water Spout plus for the slow with the Skull Bash as like a dash to get away, that's actually pretty decent. Get away pretty reliably. Oh, dude, the jump is actually pretty decent too. Yo, Surf Water Spout is nuts. Yeah, Surf Water Spout is just nuts. That's crazy! Oh, rip, dude. Dude, I'm crazy. That's crazy damage. I don't even have like any damage amplifier like items on either. That's nuts. This is actually a super good combo. Hell, I might swap out Muscle Band for Wise Glasses. Let's see how that plays. The fact I can, dude, I literally just pushed away our whole team was served. That's crazy. Dude, Blastoise is ridiculous. Dude, that's so good! I can literally just use Surf to push him out of their goalpost to let my team score. That's so cool. What? Got him. Yo, I think Blastoise is gonna be my tank of choice now. Cause like I wasn't too great at Snorlax, but I like how Blastoise feels.
What a goal!
It's so disgusting.
What a goal!
Well, that goes real quick. Gengar scoring up top.
What a goal!
Nice. Let's go. Yeah, Surf Water Spout is ridiculous. It does. Yeah, that was a sick match. It does so much damage. Oh my god, it's great for clearing out the wild Pokemon too. And I have more mobility than you would with Snorlax too. And more tankiness too.